This company is creating a humanoid robot that could potentially replace humans. Known as Figure, here is their initial video showcasing animations of potentially their upcoming robot design. In the works right now, and I'll share more details regarding the company's history and their future aspects and goals they want to achieve. As we can see here, beautiful, nice skin fitting design here with the robotic hands functioning just like a human. Once they release a prototype, I think it's going to be quite scary because it's going to be real interesting. So now let's take a look at their website on figure.ai. And currently, they state that there are 10 million unfilled jobs in the United States. 7 million of those job openings are for essential roles in warehouse, transportation, and retail. There are only 6 million people available to fill these open positions, and attrition rates remain high. Key warehouse suppliers predict they will run out of people to hire by 2024, which is quite interesting. And essentially, their goal is to fill in these gaps, create a robot that can do what humans can do and much more. So not only are they targeting the general workforce area, things such as manual labor jobs, simplistic, basic jobs, retail, any industry you can think of that a robot can do, I'm sure they are focusing on that. And essentially the name of their robot they currently have is called Figure 01, and it is an AI powered and self-reliant, reproduce abundance of affordable, more widely available goods and services to a degree which humanity has never seen. And just note there are other companies working on robots today that are significantly ahead of the space. However, the robotic industry, the future of robots in your daily life, it is coming. And now let's take a look at their master plan and a quick brief history on their CEO and founder, Brett Adcock. His background, 20 years into building tech companies, and he actually founded Archer, which, if you aren't familiar, was the flying car company with a 2.7 billion IPO. So here we can actually see a picture of one of their flying cars. And he also was founded a Vettery, $100 million exit. And this person, he knows tech. He's quite successful already in his previous ventures. And they're planning to build this company with a 30-year overview and basically putting everything that they can into this. So some quick key points to focus on. Physical labor. 50% of global GDP is human labor. So if you've ever worked a job or are currently working a job that is physically demanding, then I would say you definitely want to be careful, cautious. However, you also could be excited at the same time. The main thing is to think about, is my job going to be replaced by a robot? That is something you want to think about. Amazon already has robots in their warehouse moving products to a perfect position so that other humans, aka non-robots, can go ahead and filter them out, but eventually that's going to be all robotic. Next thing you know, we already have even retail self-checkouts. That is slowly, almost all stores already have some sort of one already, and eventually simple tasks such as a cashier are about to go obsolete. Any other industry you can think of, chefs, that is something that usually is an art and certain people just can't be replaced. However, there are already robotic chefs in various countries cooking foods up for people. And next thing you know it, imagine you go into your house, it's all futuristic AI, have a robot chef, make me an omelet, boom, omelet's done. Then another robot comes in, delivers it onto the table. It's going to be life-changing. Next sector is consumer household. So this is, again, I was talking about in homes. Chefs could be in restaurants, also in your actual house. You could have a robotic maid. There's already robotic cleaners, the ones you can go ahead and buy today to clean the floors. And I'm sure there's additional robotic features that we haven't even tapped into the surface. So the 2.3 billion households will ride, plus aging population. So a lot of people getting older, nursing homes need to take care of them, and it's a very demanding job, especially because you have to keep an eye on them at all hours because you never know when they need assistance. And humans, that means they either have to work a very long shift or they have to work multiple shifts and replace with each other. Once robots come in 24/7 watching, can do whatever you need, that's going to be crazy. And even off-world, they even mentioned space exploration to build new worlds. So that is actually quite interesting because taking humans to space could be quite risky, especially since it's unknown. So taking a robot out there might be quite interesting to see. Here are quick summary highlights from the Axios website talking about Figure, and essentially talks about the background, which I mentioned earlier. He has an all-star team of 40, including leading robotics from Boston Dynamics and Tesla. So Brett managed to get the top talent from top-tier companies in robotics, and additionally Tesla as well, which also has their own robot they're building. And they managed to have a 30,000 square foot facility in California where they plan on building their prototype. And we just got done in December with a full-scale humanoid, Adcock tells Axios, and we'll be walking that in the next 30 days. So this article was recently published, however, stating this was in December. I'm sure that they already have a Figure. They might just not have actual videos like Boston Dynamics out because they might be tested. So the main highlight is they are currently having the prototype Figure 01, which stands at 5 foot 6 inches. So similar height, average height around the world, might not be in the States. However, in most countries, it's quite a decent height, and it weighs 130 pounds. So it's surprisingly actually pretty light. I would say it's average weight of an actual human, around that body range with that height. So surprisingly for a robot with a lot of materials, I'm actually impressed that it's that light. And it said it's fully electric. So there comes the Tesla team coming in there. Run for 5 hours on a charge and is intended for warehouse use. So it looks like the first prototype is mainly for warehouse, and we can get a commercial operation within a few years. And they said it should be able to do most jobs, basically physical labor jobs that humans don't want to do. And myself, having worked a physical labor job before, I know how draining it is on your soul, especially 10, 12 plus hour days non-stop for stuff that technically easily could be fixed by a robot. So that one is going to improve businesses' productivity, efficiency. Sad part is it will take over a lot of people's jobs that aren't essentially needing that much requirements behind the scenes. However, with innovation, there's always a new breakthrough and new jobs get created. And they mentioned how difficult it is actually to create a robot to do human-like options. So for example, balancing and replicating human movements. And they said they have to be able to push it and not have it fall down, which Boston Dynamics apparently already seems like they somewhat perfected in a way, because if you've seen their previous videos on YouTube, a lot of videos showcase them pushing the little dog robots, and it managed to knock over in the early stages, but now it seems like it is actually working and standing up on its own. And then they said it's easier to program robots to move boxes in a warehouse than actually cooking a meal. So again, utilizing even the visual recognition pattern, which I'm sure that you have a different model for that, but even GPT-4 can go ahead and start seeing images visually. We have AI image generation, so it's going to be quite interesting to see when this comes out.